Alright, good day. This is African Crypto Warlord. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be looking in at our distribution cone. We can have the 5-day one that we looked at previously. We can see what price action's doing, and from there it's going to be a whole bunch more fun. So what I demarcated last night, right, was my 15-minute time frame. Okay, I've marked it out here. What we've come up and done is we've hit our 15-minute mean reversion on our PB cone. Okay, so in the previous video I demarcated, I think it was on a 6-hour, we had a 6-hour flash here, which tells me that we're looking for a new trend. And when I have a 6-hour flash with regards to my AVR, I know that volatility zeroed out. As such, I need to go hunt around on the lower term time frames. 15-minute was the one. They gave me clean flashes before we broke out through this distribution range. Okay, so what we can see here is yesterday's stream we posted over here, and the thumbnail was just us stuck between these two UMP levels in this distribution cone coming down. Okay, so how the distribution cone works is these are all statistics or probabilities levels, depending if you have it on Laplace or normal distribution. I have mine on Laplace distribution, which just helps measure gas particles moving around, and there's a whole scientific way to do this nonsense. Okay, and these are the tools we use, alpha trading tools, to get that done. Alright, so mean reversion on the 15-minute is where we failed previously to break through with the red eyes thumbnail, but we had a crap load of positive drift. So that was our failure point. There's nothing here, as you can see. We pulled up, we hit our daily mean. That's usually what the general goal is of these streams, is to see where we are in relative farawayness from our daily mean, right? And our daily mean is our magnet. We currently have a weekly mean over here. So it came in, it touched our daily mean, hit our Laplace cone underneath for your random distribution. And then it went long, caught itself on the UMP, crushed itself back into the UMP at VRE level, and now has finally hit the 15-minute Laplace distribution bands, mean reversion. Okay, so VRE off, and that's how you can see what's happening here. So generally through the stream, and by the time the stream is ended, I'm going to say we come in, we pull back, there'll be a little bit of a cross here, so I'm going to guess a little bit of lower time frame signal processing to make sure we don't break below this UMP level. So currently what you'll be able to monitor here is I have drawn this orange line over, so I can lift it. There's your orange line. I've drawn this orange line over so that we can see how this mean reversion point has messed around with our higher term time frame data. Okay, so I'm looking for the pocket here, over here, looking for the pocket. Obviously this is XRP, so be careful if you're looking for. If you're short, cool, you'll be safe. But if you want to catch and see if we can rip above here, this could be a good point. There might be a bull div depending on how high up this UMP gets. Okay, so that's my general launch, 3318. And from there we continue. So now I'm going to show you what's happening on the 15-minute. So the reason why this didn't continue through, as you can see, our returns were getting beaten up. We had a mean reversion point, which helped us mean revert through our UMP. And from there we hit our mean our Laplace distribution mean, and that's what's faded us to the downside currently. Just off of this, as you can see, it was denied mean reversion at the mean reversion point on the 15-minute. Okay, so confluence in data, confluence in time. Okay, so what we can see here is this is a little bit confused, but if this carries on contracting with regards to volatility, then you're going to see a little bit more dump to the downside. So I'm looking for a pocket somewhere here. Okay, now we're going to move up from here, switch off our PB cones, switch on our VREs, and we'll leave this orange line for data to be observed for this and this. Okay, 15-minute, 30-minute. Now 30 minute, also outlier event capped off at the top here. Outlier event capped off at the top here, and pulled this thing out of its socket. Okay, down, contraction, expanding. This is still confused for the next print, okay, because this one's going to print through, this one's still going to be down, there's going to be expansion. So next one could be a doji candle, so we're going to look for either negative drift to get us into this region, or positive drift to keep this like a tight little squeezy range. Okay, 45-minute. Let's go have a look what happened here. That's what's denied our mean reversion, is our distribution cone. Okay, that's fine. Confused. Obviously, it's not so confused because we know that we are at the midway point of our random distribution. Cool. So I'm going to look for some continuation signals. Our 90-minute is looking pretty good. I would say the 90-minute, if it wants to push into an outlier event, given that there's been a whole bunch of candles here, less than my look back, so it will be easy to get this data into an outlier event. Your outlier event is protected at 3290, which is your daily mean. As you can see, we've come up and we've touched it. Over here on this data, I'll bring that down. We've come up from our previous stream, boom, we got trapped in our daily range, pushed through, failed at our mean, going for our weekly mean reversion point. Alright. So, 3 hour. Let's see who's got some more follow through. So, if you hold the 3 hour candle in this range and you just print 2 or 3 little ones higher, this will definitely mean revert to the upside. What will cap this when it hits its outlier event is more than likely the weekly mean reversion point at 3383. Okay, contraction. There's a lot of confusion in the market at the current moment, but we've magneted ourselves back to the daily mean. As you can see, the cone distribution level has chopped down the 6 hour mean reversion point. Alright? Outlier point for it to push to the outlier. Generally what this means is close below your JMA over here, we can start looking for downside. As we saw our downside targets from our 90-minute, we already demarcated 3290. Okay, contraction positively correlated. That's sort of what pushed us up through here. We are looking to increase on a trend with our upward momentum. So let's go look for 12 hours. See what our 12 hours saying. Is there more follow through? Yes, we've got some bull div on our 12 hour over here. We've just started our mean reversion phase. So I would say what denies this whole mean reversion phase between these two is this 3383 weekly mean. Our previous monthly mean, now that we're getting a bit higher time frames, 3640. Alright, I would expect 3640 if this mean reverts. If the 12 hour breaks through here, I'll expect 340. And any one of these other levels, more than likely a touch on the UMP first for the first scalp to prevent it from making a higher high. Alright, so 24 hour, let's go up. 24 hour had its outlier event starting to decay. There's a bull div formed here on the 24 hour following with the 12 hour. So now the ebb and flow of volatilities actually can catch this price action out here. For me, the next best alternative for the market currently on the 24 hour or the daily is the next candle contracts. So if this candle contracts, right, because it's 5 in a row, that's very, very, very hard, at least on my data to get. 5 in a row, red expansion, volatility expanding. This crosses through, that contracts, that's going to add negative drift. Okay, so that brings us back down to 3291, that observation. So we have a few observations to the downside, we have a few observations to the upside. If I add them up, I'll be able to generally know which side the coin's wanting to land, heads or tails. Alright, contraction, positively correlated, still confused. Let me throw this off on the 3-day VRE levels as things start to get a bit hectic. Cool, so I would say on our 3-day, if we break above and hold candles above our 15-minute mean reversion cone, we will have continuation to the upside. If we don't close candles above 3356 on the 3-day, we're going to carry on to the downside. So that will be an observation I'm going to be holding true to through the next 21 days to see what happens there. Let's see if our 5-day has finally had some flashes. Y'all can't see. Let me drag it over. We haven't had all our flashes in a row yet, okay? So this is telling me that my data is, those two are 0-0'd, that's 0-0'd. My peak, the top of my bell curve is very low. So distribution or randomness is not going to be as much, okay? 7-day, oh, that's mean reverted. There's our there's our green tick that will add your bullish div. Contraction phase. Now this is where positive drift is going to be coming in. Let me switch this off so things get easier to see. So as much as returns are going to be decaying to the downside, what we can see here is we're in a contraction phase that's just printed, and this volatility is negatively correlated to contraction in volatility contraction in volatility, whilst negatively correlated, is going to give us positive drift. Okay, so it's the volatility is saying that yeah, the candles are going down, but we're not joining it. Okay, we're not following that direction. That's pretty much what I'm reading here. All right. So there's a little bit of a touch returns. We're getting bought up here. That's your positive drift coming in. Our 14 days obviously a very good observation to have. This is our first open, nearly open and close below the 14-day JMA. It does look like if it lifts up, this JMA will lift up with it. So if the 14-day picks up, there's going to be it's going to be a harder effort to get it out of there. So this is not confused anymore. So this is our negative drift that's forming here. With continuation of negative drift, you will see this fold over and this become more bearish. Let's put ourselves back up on the 21-day. We'll throw ourselves up on the 15-minute to leave. There's our 21-day JMA touch. We've been preaching on about this every Sunday. There's our mean reversion. Returns are starting to stop decaying from the downside and looking for returns to go positive. We are in an outlier event. As you can see, outlier got bought up at least by 7-day drift coming through the book. What I want to do is add one of these, and we'll do that one. We'll do that one. Okay, so I want to throw up some Poloni X and throw this on the 15-minute. AU. And where did you go, Poloni? It had to triple X me, didn't it? You guys can more than likely not be watching this right now, but that's perfectly fine. Oh man, I just messed up this indicator. Oh, this is the wrong setup. Doesn't matter. Okay. And I actually need the other one, 21-day. Okay, so as you can see, there's return starting to decay to the downside and a whole bunch more other funny things. Cool. Back on 15-minute, give me my cone. Throw that up. As we said, we are looking for our 15-minute to land somewhere here. This is the pocket, and you'll see why. Because our distribution cone lines up here. As you can see, we play around quite seriously with our distribution cone, with our distribution cone, with our distribution cone, with our distribution cone. So yeah, I hope you guys have a fun day further. There's your limits for the day, I'd say, so that you don't randomly panic out of trades. Anyone to the downside can be bought up for a bullish div on the higher term time frames, given we have bullish divs coming through. So general targets for the day, I'm gonna just demarcate us for if we break this one, we pump. If we break this one, if we close 15-minute candles below this one, I'll look for maybe a little bit more continuation to the downside, right? A little bit more continuation to the downside, bounce, and these two will have crossed. So where they cross, you guys know, you've been playing with crypto and SMAs, is where I'm looking for liquidity to be sitting in a pullback. So I hope this was helpful. I wish you guys a good day further, and general range to the upside from our daily VRE level is 1.1 and general targets to the downside is 1.9. Okay, ciao bella. This side. Cheers.